Blueberry field, and boy oh boy have they been picked through. The first weekend we were out here, the whole fields were picked clean, so we're kind of having to really look for the blueberries. Sorry, I'm trying to pick and film at the same time. It's a really nice place out here outside of Houston where you can pick your own. It's $2 a pound. And these are organically grown, and you just can't get any better than that. It's a little bit of work, but it's actually pretty nice. It's not too hot, maybe about 79. Very nice. Okay, well, I got about 10 pounds so far. As you can see, I'm wearing a bag around my neck. Got one of the straps over me with a towel, and that's pretty much the easiest way I've found to do two-handed picking, because when it comes down to blueberries, especially when the fields are so full of people, you have to kind of go into the bush to get it. But sometimes you find nice little clusters like this you can pick through. But a lot of people were out here early, and we got a late start, as usual. So it's taken us a little while, hoping for 35. But looks like we've only got about half a bucket, part of a bucket, and a bag. Whew. Picking. It's been about 3 hours. It's 100 and something, which is why I'm out of breath. And we're still picking away. Looks like a lot of them still have some more ripening to go. But if you go way up into them, you can get a bunch. So we ended up with a little over 21 pounds. About 2 or 3 pounds made their way off to a friend of ours, and I got 4 of these bags full. These gallon Ziploc bags. So what I did is I washed them, and I'll show you that in a minute, and then I got them in a bowl. So I put all the berries in a strainer and kind of washed them through. And some of these are so big. Look at that. All organically grown. Stay nice and firm too. I don't mind canning with the frozen berries. They turn out alright, but there's just something about fresh. Just while you're doing it, you can eat them. So let me get these washed, and I'll get back to you in a sec. So I've got half of the berries washed and in this bowl, and they look so good. I still have to go through a bunch of stems, but these are beautiful. I don't really have that many to them. I did a pretty good job of picking them out as we were going, because you do actually pay by the pound, so those little stems do add up. So these are pretty. We do have a few red ones in there, but the sun was so bright it was really kind of hard to tell what from what, but we did get plenty of really nice ripe ones. And I'm not really that worried about the red ones, because we're going to put some sugar with these, so any tartness that they bring will actually be a nice accent. So I've got a recipe from my ball canning book. Love this. One of my dear best friends gave this to me. Thank you. So I'm going to do the recipe for blueberry pie filling. I am going to do a batch of jam. I guess whatever's left we're going to keep in the refrigerator for fresh eating, and the freezer for whatever else we might want. But this is definitely something I want to can up while they're still really fresh. I found that the frozen berries are starting to get really expensive, and they've got a ton of other things in them I really don't want to can up. So get started on this. First of all, I'm going to start it with the pie filling. So I'm done with the peaches. That's actually my peach jam and some more pie filling and some waffle toppings that I made. So I have to label those and put those away, but I've got a lot put away. I've got my half-gallon jars of ThermFlow. I did go through almost one with all the pie filling that I made from the peaches and the blackberries. So I've got this all ready to go. Still a couple peaches in the basket. I really don't want to look at any more peaches for a while. Got my vinegar. Still have one more bag to go, but I just didn't have any more room in the bowl. So the pie filling recipe I have is for 7 cups of blueberries, 1 2/3 cups of granulated sugar, 2/3 cup of Clearjel, which is the ThermFlow. Calls for 12 drops of blue food coloring and 4 drops of red food coloring. I can tell you right now you're not going to need it. When these start to pop with the heat, they're going to release their own beautiful color, and you won't even be able to tell. Then 1 teaspoon of grated lemon zest and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So I'm getting my jars sanitized and ready to go, and I'm getting my pot out and ready, so I'll be back to you in just a little bit. So I have the dishwasher going. That's what you hear in the background. Kids are watching a movie. But I'm actually going to use my pressure canner to can this. I'm not going to pressure can them. I'm just going to use the canner to boil them. So I've got the water heating up in there with the lid on to make them get hotter faster. And the directions are to blanch the blueberries for 1 minute and then put them into the ThermFlow mix. So what I'm going to do is do a double batch. Hopefully I can fit all that into the pot. But I'm going to blanch them for 1 minute and then return them to the pot to keep them warm. Then I'm going to brew up some ThermFlow real quick in that pan and mix them all together. So need you back here when the water's boiling. Alright, so it took a little while for the water to boil. I'm doing a double batch, so this is actually 14 cups of blueberries. Ooh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all this in here. Hold on, let me dump out a little bit of this water. Okay. I guess I'll stop if I start to overflow. You really only have to do these for a minute. Every time you do it, you got to get that water to a boil, which is why I'm doing a double batch. So, let's wait for a minute, and when they're ready, I'll get back to you. Okay. Carefully pour them out into a strainer, because you want to strain off all the water. Some of these berries have already burst, which is why I've chosen not to add the food coloring per the directions. So they're going to add a nice natural color. And then, right back in the pot to stay warm. Hopefully, they won't go flying everywhere. Wish me luck. Oops. Somebody didn't wish me luck. Careful, baby, there.
I know, I'm good.
Okay. Back to the stove. Get the top on. I'm going to put this to the side and start mixing up the ThermFlow. Alright, so I've got 4 cups of water in here. I'm doubling the recipe. So I'll write all that down in the comments below. I've got the Clearjel going in. Once I make a paste out of this, then I'll add the lemon juice. Oh, I'm sorry, lime juice. I like the taste of lime juice better than lemon. So that's actually what I like to use when I'm canning. A big spoon. Already got the heat on. So I'm just going to mix this up real quick. So I don't have any lumps. About the time I get this pretty smooth and lump free, the heat will start to penetrate and make a paste. So I'll get back to you in a minute when it's in a paste. And it's starting to form a paste. It's got little clear spots in it. And it happens pretty quickly. Just keep stirring. That's the secret. And use a big spoon. You can see it actually starting to gel at the bottom, which is why you want to keep stirring, so it'll burn. It'll burn to the bottom, and a good night's soak will get it off, but why waste your product? Because it might actually impart a burnt taste into your pie filling. Ooh. It's happening real fast. Alright, be back in just a minute. Okay, it's a paste, so I'm going to add in my blueberries. Okay, here go the berries. You definitely want to use big pots for this. So if you try to go in something kind of tall and skinny, it's not really going to work. You got to have the room to beat up your berries. They did release a lot of nice juice because I strained them, but I want to have some room to work. See, there's no need for food coloring. Need for a good workout though, because this does thicken up pretty quickly. And I'm trying to be as gentle as I can at breaking these up, because you don't want some big chunks of cornstarch in there. Make for a kind of a yucky bite. There we go. I think we can call it good. Look good?
Looks real good.
All right.
Smells fantastic.
I got the jars sanitizing now, and I'll get them out in just a second, start filling them up. Even the most seasoned canner makes this mistake. I actually forgot to add in the lemon juice as soon as it became a paste. So I added it just now. Actually loosened it up a good bit. So that's definitely not something you want to forget. Sorry, this is hard. Okay. Now into the jars. Okay. This is really thick. I'm going to have to be mindful of air pockets. This is really good. Woo. Okay. So after I'm done filling this up, I'm going to run the air pocket remover out through the edge of the jar, wipe the rim, put on my clean lid and ring, and I'll put these in the canner to process. Be right back. Okay. I forgot to mention that the recipe says to leave pretty much an inch of headspace, so that's what I did. Wiped off the rims of the jars to make sure there's a good seal, and put my rings on. And believe it or not, it's only made 6 pint-and-a-half jars and 1/2 pint. So I'm going to use this tonight for something. But yeah, that's all it made. But then again, I always marvel about how much food you can fit in these jars. And these are actually the wonderful pint-and-a-half jars. They have nice straight shoulders on them, so they're really good for canning meatloafs and things like that. So that's primarily why I got them, but I was kind of running low on all my jars, so this is what I've got. So now I'm going to process these for 30 minutes because they're closer to quarts than pints. So I'm going to put them in the boiling water bath, and I'll be back to you when they're out. Okay, so they're done processing. If you're wondering why the water's so low, I've actually taken most of them out. And there we go. This is what 14 cups of berries will make. 6 pint-and-a-half jars. But each jar is a whole pie, so we basically made 6 pies worth of pie filling. So there you go. If you go to pickyourown.org, you can actually find places to pick your own fruit and vegetables. Sometimes they have a fruit stand or vegetable stand where you can go and buy everything already picked. But sometimes it's just kind of nice to pick your own, get you back in touch with your food and nature. Plus it's a nice feeling of accomplishment. And I guess I just can't stress that enough. That's my idea of fun, is dragging the family out. Who actually go out willingly. I'm trying to get you a good view of this. To go out and pick with me. And it's just nice. It's a nice thing to do with your family. And you'll be surprised the memories that you make. So there you go. Blueberry pie filling. Get you a better view. Because it's pretty. Look at that. So the only thing that I can give you as far as advice is start your water early, because that's usually what you're waiting on. So start that first and then do the rest of it, because it goes pretty quickly. Take care.